Hello and welcome to the latest CraftySniper's Airsoft review video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be reviewing websites. For those that have been on the CraftySniper Facebook page, you will know that I now have a section on my cover photo which shows you guys the people that support me. These include links to Airsoft Club, Airsoft Commando, Combat Zone, and the latest company to support me is FNKY Airsoft. Now, I could review some of the stuff that they produce, and I will be doing that at some point. But I thought it would be a really good idea to introduce you guys to the website that is FNKY Airsoft. The website is www.fnkyairsoft.com. Now, I'm just going to jump straight into this and show you guys what you're going to get from FNKY Airsoft. And a little bit of history is FNKY Airsoft make camera mounts. That's what I know them as. They are now starting to branch out in other forms of mounting cameras and other accessories regarding to mounting a camera on an airsoft replica. Now, this is the catalogue page. This is the page that you'll come to when you want to purchase any of the products. Now, we're just going to jump straight into accessories here. This is what FNKY Airsoft, to me, are known for. This is a Runcam 2 action camera with an FNKY Airsoft RIS mount, rail mount even, and a top cover here for your camera. Basically, this allows the camera to be mounted to any rail portion, or any portion of rail even, of an airsoft rifle, and you can start recording your gameplay, which is always a fantastic thing. I've been doing it for some time. So they do other things as well. I mean, I'm going to just jump into this one here. This here is the GoPro baseball cap universal mount. Now, I'll just show you guys. I've got it sat here. This is my GoPro. It's nothing special. It's just a Hero 1. I love this thing because it's simple and fantastic. But this is the mount I have for it. I can mount this to my head. I can mount this to my baseball cap, and it's just three leggy bands, one over the top, two around the side, and it does a all right job. It's fallen off a few times. It is uncomfortable when it's hot, but it does a fairly good job. This is the latest product from, or one of the latest products from FNKY Airsoft, and it is a baseball cap mount. So if you've got a baseball cap, let's face it, all of us have, and a GoPro camera, you can now mount your camera, your GoPro, any GoPro that uses the mount system. Where's the camera? There's the camera. Uses this mount system where you take this pin out and you can now mount your GoPro to this device here and then slip that onto a baseball cap and it will grip it, and that's it. If the baseball cap stays on you, so will this camera and so will this mount. I'm really impressed with this. I haven't actually got one. I'm really tempted to go get one of these because I love recording with my GoPro. I don't like wearing it as it is. It drives me nuts. But just having the chance to wear a baseball cap is so much better than the way that GoPro have. GoPro's works, yeah, all right. This works better. I just know it will work better. This is 3D printed, by the way, as well. So, yeah, very impressed with that. For all you guys and girls that like to use grenades and use tremor grenades, FNKY Airsoft have got you covered because we now have 3D printed mounts for your tremor grenade system. If you have the single shot base unit grenade, here you go, $22.99, and you can mount this 3D printed part to your molly system. Put your grenade in. It is safe. It will not fall out. So when you start running around and jumping and getting excited and all that, this will not come out. That's the part, obviously, without the grenade in it. As you can see, the grenade just sits in there and it will click into place. And yeah, it's perfectly safe. I don't have a tremor grenade myself. I'd love to review one of them. But if I did, this is a very minimalistic way of holding on to your grenade. You can actually hold multiple grenades on a molly system and it will be perfectly fine. For those that have the multi-bang unit as well, the multi-bang base unit, here you go, $24.99, so a little bit more expensive, and you can have that on there as well. And if you're using grenades, you're obviously going to be using blanks. Again, FNKY Airsoft have got you covered because we now have the Airsoft Tremor 209 primer case holding 9 blank units, blank bullets, whatever you like to call them, blanks. It's a little sliding device, and it's a very secure way of holding your blanks. Basically, I've always seen people with these grenades that have like bags of blanks sat somewhere on their kit, or they have a box of them and they rattle around. This is a way of holding your blanks securely, and it's only $11.99, so that's really good value for money. That again, 3D printed. We also have, for those that like to have many cameras on your rifle, we have the dual aim cam and selfie cam mount system. Now this will obviously mount to, I presume, your rail piece, and will hold two RunCam 2 cameras. One of them is going to be facing forward, i.e. where the gun's looking, and the other one is going to be facing rear, looking at your face, which is probably really good, apart from me, who has an ugly face. $34.99. So it's a little more expensive, but I think it's, again, if this is on par with the equipment I've had of these guys before, it's going to be really good quality. In fact, I'm going to load this up. There you go. That's the 3D printed portion of it. A very strong plastic is used. I can't remember what the exact name of the plastic is, but it's extremely strong. Obviously, if you're going to smack it against a tree, it's going to break. But, you know, general wear and tear, these things actually last a long time. But again, $34.99 for that. We got some adjustment shims. We don't need to show much of those. So yeah, that's the accessories. Moving on to the first person view, this is obviously the cameras that are mounted to your fast helmets, and they use the night vision goggle mount, which is this thing just here. GoPro have a similar system, and you can actually mount a GoPro camera to this, but you can actually have the package here. It's $109.99, and that will include a RunCam 2 action camera, our RunCam mount with GoPro fitment, a night vision goggle mount, including all the bolts, batteries, battery even, charging cable and connection lead. So basically, the only thing you're going to need is an SD card and a battery pack. I'm going to tell you now, the batteries on these cameras, on the RunCam 2, do not last a long time. I mean, less than 2 hours. Yeah, that's really been optimistic. Most airsoft matches can last longer than that, so yeah, you're going to need to get a battery pack. And I have seen people run these kind of cameras before, and what they do is they run the cable like this one, like the image shows, and thread it into their helmet, and it goes to the rear of the helmet where the battery pack is stored, and basically it balances out your helmet. If you have a camera sat on the front of your helmet and nothing on the back, a counterweight, it's going to tip the helmet if it's not securely fixed to your head. So yeah, battery packs are also going to be needed as well, but you can pick those up, all sizes, all different categories there. What else we got here? So again, $109.99. That's a lot of nines there. Let's go to scope cams. Scope cams are the bread and butter. This is what I ordered last year from these guys. And as you can see, you've got 3 different packages. And the difference between these packages is the lens that comes with the scope cam. This one here is the CQB setup. This is £145.99p, and it has a 25mm scope cam. And basically, that is it there. That's just a little diddy-widdy little lens, and it's set up for a CQB engagement distances. And it says here, perfect for close quarter scenarios where the target will be a distance of around 20 feet to 100 feet away. So when it's up close and personal, this is the perfect camera for you. I must admit, as an airsofter, if I was running into a CQB environment, indoors, all that sort of stuff, and I had this camera and it's set for up close and personal, there's probably a chance it's going to get shot. Yeah, that is a downside of cameras. Anything you mount to a rifle is going to get shot at some point. But you get the whole package here, which is the RunCam 2 action camera, a 25mm HD zoom lens, which is pre-installed, an infrared filter, pre-installed, battery, charging cable, and a custom Picatinny rail mount, which is this thing here. Now, as you can see, it slips onto the rails here. You'll have a couple of screws, either that side or that side, and basically it tightens it down, grips it to the rifle. This slot here is for your battery power lead. So if you have a battery pack, which again I really do recommend, you can mount the battery pack to, let's say, the side rail of your gun, small cable running into the rear slot on the camera, and therefore your camera now runs off the battery pack and not its internal battery life. These are the new style mounts actually covers as well, because these here, there's a little hole for the 2 buttons you have on top of a Runcam 2. I don't have that part on my camera. It's all solid, so I have to take this whole top part off to get access to the buttons, which, yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's, yeah, it is what it is. I knew what it was when I ordered it. So yeah, that's the CQB setup. We have the assault rifle setup. This is obviously set up for anything shooting up to 350 feet per second, like an M4, an AK when you're working out in a woodland environment, that sort of stuff. This lens is set up for perfect for scenarios where the target will be a distance of around 75 feet to 150 feet away. So again, we're working it out now, working the distance out, and you can tell already this is a big custom lens that goes on the end of this little action camera. And again, the only thing that's different is the lens. Everything else you get the camera, you get a new custom lens, you get an infrared filter, you get the custom premium Picatinny rail mount with all the bolts, you get the batteries, and you get the charging cable. So you get everything required short of a battery pack and an SD card, and those things are dirt cheap to pick up anyway. But if you're running in an outdoors environment, this is the camera you're going to want to get. Moving on to the one I purchased, the Sniper one. This is a 50mm scope cam lens. This thing is absolutely ginormous. It's almost like the length of the camera again, just in the lens. Now this one's a little bit different. Not only do you get obviously the Runcam 2 action camera, you get a 50mm HD lens pre-installed, the infrared filter, all that dribble. You also get a rail mount, which is a little bit. Oh, sorry, that's the rail mount, which is this one down here again. Battery, charging cable. Now this is the different part. You have a 25 to 30mm scope stroke barrel mount adapter. What the heck is one of those? It's this thing here. So I just want to picture out a rifle. You've got a nice long segment of rail. You can mount that camera directly to your rail. So the actual scope itself is sitting on top of the rail in a normal place. You can sit the camera just slightly in front of the scope. If you've got a long enough rail, hey presto, that's all right. That's cushy. However, if you want to mount that camera a little bit further forward, you can get this. You get this part here, which it clamps itself to the outer barrel. Assuming that it's less than between 25 to 30mm. Basically, it has another rail segment here, and now you can mount the camera to that barrel mount. So you can put the camera out further. Doesn't make any difference in the zoom level or anything like that, but it means you can spread stuff out, and you can now mount the camera to the barrel if you have a smaller section of rail. Let's say the VSR, for instance, that has quite a small segment of rail. If you have an SRS, the Silverback SRS sniper rifle, that has a massive long piece of top rail, so you'd have no problems putting the camera on there. So there you go, that's the only thing that's different, and that one retails £160. Remember, this thing's all 3D printed. I don't think that's 3D printed there, but the case is printed. The camera is set up with this lens fitted. The only thing you're going to have to do is alter the focus on the camera, which I didn't personally realise you had to do when I got my camera last year. But it's very, very simple. These cameras come with apps that you can download to your mobile phone. And basically, they run off their own Wi-Fi, and you can then load up the app, load up the camera, and look at what the camera's looking at. So you've got the camera in your hand, and you've got your phone in your other hand, and you can actually see what the camera is actually looking at. So what you do is, what I found was the best setup, was telling somebody to walk 60 meters away from you. You're holding a camera, roughly what you think is where the person is, having your phone with you, and then looking at what the camera's looking at. And if the camera is a bit, or the image is a bit fuzzy, just start altering the focus, which you do with loosening off that screw, and there's one just underneath it, and it allows this to spin. So you just hold this portion just here, and basically you can just spin it around just to focus it, just get that ideal crisp image, which is what you want. Remember, you want to be seeing your BB on the travel. And that is the way you set up the camera. All the cameras have that facility. So yeah, that's the way you would be setting up a sniper cam. So yeah, these guys, FNKY Airsoft, they have started supporting me, and I can't wait to work with these guys. I've ordered some bits off them in the past. I'm ordering some new bits from this year, and I'm really, really impressed with how the Bits and pieces are well made, well packaged, and they're securely placed in a box. You get a little white box, which is these things just down here, and everything you need for your setup is in that box. Absolutely brilliant idea. So yeah, this is a new idea of mine to start reviewing some of the websites that support me. There will be, if this video looks really well, there will be some more reviews of websites like Lincolnshire Airsoft Club, Combat Zone, the likes. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about FNKY Airsoft, please feel free to ask me on the YouTube page or ask me on the Facebook page. I'm quite happy to talk anything about FNKY Airsoft. I'm actually really, really impressed with all of their work that I've had experience with. So once again, that website is www.fnkyairsoft.com. I'm CraftySniper. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on an airsoft field very, very soon.